Hi everyone. In today's video, I want to briefly show you how to make sure that the graded items that you have in your grade book that you're going to be as assessments, whether they're a paper assessment, whether it is an exam or a test or a quiz, or if it's a discussion. If it's a graded item, it has to be associated to something in your content. So here's what you're going to look for. After you've logged into your course, I want you to go to Grades, and then you're going to go to Manage Grades. Now, if you look down here, you'll notice I have my categories. In this case, I have papers as a category. I've got discussions as one of my categories. I have weekly quizzes as a category, as well as an exams category. One of the things that I want to make sure you understand is in order for it to be associated, you'll see in this column here that, for example, with my TII paper, it's associated with an item or a content piece or topic in my week module, and it's an assignment. Now remember, in Brightspace, assignments are considered to be some type of a submission. It can be a paper submission, something they submit electronically, for example, like here. It could be a text submission. Instead of them handing in a paper, I put this paper or some kind of a submission assignment in the week where they just have to text, type in some text. Another type of submission, or an assignment submission, can also be something they hand you physically. They hand you the paper, whether it's something that they had to hand into you physically. That's also an assignment submission. Another type of, or the last submission that you'll find in the assignments type of a graded item is something that you observe in person. So if they're giving a presentation, they're submitting their presentation and you're observing it in person, then you'll just manually put their grade in. So keep in mind, if it's something that is submitted, either physically being observed, they text it in, or they electronically attach it into something, or submit it that way, it's considered an assignment. Now, another thing too is if you're looking to see if something is associated within your modules, this column is where you're going to find that. So as you can see, my TII paper, I've got the association. My research paper is associated. My reflection journal, I need to go back and make that association. One of the things also that's key to making sure that this is done and done correctly, not only for your site, but for the students, that it's easy to understand. Whatever name you have given this graded item, please make sure that the name of this graded item is the exact same name as in your content item. Okay? The reason I tell you that is because when you're going to make that association, if the names are the same, you'll know exactly what it is you're going to. For example, I need to make the association for my journal reflection. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back to my content, and you'll notice that this journal reflection is just worth 10 points this time for this particular assignment. So I'm going to go back to my content. And in this case, I go to my week 1 module. I scroll down. Here is my journal reflection. This is the association that I need. You'll notice it's an assignment. So it's something that they're going to hand in or text in or hand me, or if I'm going to observe in person. Regardless, it's an assignment. I'm going to drop the arrow down. I'm going to view the topic. Down here just a little bit to the right, see where it says assessment. I'm going to add the grade item that I know already exists on my Manage Grades page. If you remember, it was worth 10 points. I drop the arrow down. I go and I find, oh, there's my journal reflection. Now you'll notice in this example, that's the only one I have available at this time because all the other two are already associated. So I know this is the correct association. not only because the names are exactly the same, but that's the only, in this case, other graded items that I have available to me. So I'm just going to click on that. There it is, and I'm going to save it. To make sure that association happened, I'm going to go back to grades, manage grades, and there's my journal reflection, and my association, because it was an assignment, is correct. Another thing too I want you to understand is, and remember, if you look down here, for example, I've got exams, okay? I've got exam 1, I might have exam 2, I might have a midterm. Whatever it is, I know it's an assessment, and I used the quizzes tool. I know this is confusing for some, but it's the quizzes tool that you are using for this type of an assessment. It's just the tool, the quizzes tool. You can name it whatever you want. So for example, I do have a week 1 quiz, and I've associated it because it's a quizzes tool. Same thing with the week 2 quiz. So whatever I have it named here, I want to go back and I want to make that association in my content, in my module. So it's worth 10 points. So what I'm going to do, go back this time to content. I'm going to go to week 2. I'm going to scroll down and find my week 2 quiz. And you'll notice this doesn't have the same name. So what I might want to consider doing, first of all, is view this topic. And I might want to change this name to the correct title. Quiz 2 or week 2 quiz. Okay. So now, if you go over here down below a little bit to the right, here's where I'm going to add that graded item. I'm going to make that association. You'll notice because it's a quiz, it's automatically got the grades, or excuse me, I should say it automatically has the points already associated in the quiz itself or in the assessment. So that's why it doesn't, require me to put in the number. So here, all I'm going to do is I'm going to go down and I'm going to click on week 2 quiz. Okay, and I'm going to save it. Tells me it was assigned successfully. So I'm going to go back to my grades, manage grades, and if I scroll down, there's my week 2 quiz, and it's worth 10 points. So I hope that this helped you to understand making associations and understanding that assignments are submissions. The quizzes is a tool. Doesn't matter if it's a midterm, it's exam, it's a test, doesn't matter. It's an associated with the quizzes tool. Okay? So if you have any questions or have any more concerns, please don't hesitate to let us know here in Create, or you can also access the NMC help and they'll be able to assist you as well. Thanks everyone.